Tomorrow night, something rather significant occurs in the cosmos of British television, I'm told. Doctor Who, our most elastic cultural icon, other than James Bond, faces another regeneration, but this time the transition is not just between actors, it's between legacies, between expectations and execution, between nostalgia and what the BBC rather delicately calls strategic reflection. Ncuti Gatwa's tenure appears to be drawing to a close after only 2 seasons, and what was once a burst of diversity and freshness now seems eclipsed by critical disillusion, plummeting ratings, Disney depression, and narrative incoherence. We should take a moment to reflect. And as we do, I want to turn, perhaps as you once did, to a moment involving black and white television, a jug of warm milk, a chicken coop in need of attention. I refer, of course, to the war games when Patrick Troughton's doctor, facing exile from Gallifrey, was forced to regenerate, though not without being offered a choice of faces. What about this one or this? Said the almost disembodied Time Lord. It was a haunting moment, transformation as punishment, rebirth as necessity, followed by exile on Earth. We've since then witnessed a cavalcade of metamorphosis. John Pertwee's operatic flamboyance emerged from that enforced exile, only to give way to the toothy anarchy of Tom Baker at the climax of Planet of the Spiders. A remarkable finale, if you recall, where Sarah Jane Smith had a psychic parasite on her back while the Doctor collapsed, spiritually drained, beside a blue-tinged alien lake, I think, or in some sort of greenhouse. I don't remember very clearly. Peter Davison, perhaps the most emotionally resonant of the classic Doctors, and frankly my favourite, emerged from an act of sacrifice when Tom Baker plunged from a tower to save Perry. Was that right? Was Perry there? I remember some of that vividly, and some of it rather like what's his name? Yes, I remember it well. You wore a gown of pink or blue. I was all in. I don't remember any of that. The celery, the murky light, the line, "Is this death?" And then a new, younger face, gentler, filled with doubt. Contrast all that with our current predicament. The 15th Doctor, played by Gatwa, entered to much fanfare and symbolic weight, the first black, openly queer actor to take on the role. He was bold, kinetic, stylish. The casting made headlines. The BBC, in alliance with Disney Plus, reinvested in Doctor Who with global ambitions and marketing budgets reminiscent of Marvel Studios. Dolls were made. Instagram post shared, a Barbie collaboration announced. But it's one thing to regenerate the actor, it's another to regenerate the soul of the show. And now to the present, speculation abounds. Was Ncuti Gatwa axed? The BBC says no. Officially, pure fiction. And yet, withdrawal from the Eurovision song spokesperson slot, reportedly due to discomfort over Israel's qualification, triggered an avalanche of gossip. The viewing figures tell a story. Episodes reportedly dipping to 1.6 million. Compare that to David Tennant's Doomsday, which had close to 10 million followers in 2006. Episodes now feature villains like the Maestro, a drag performer played by Jinx Monsoon, and narratives built around incel culture and gender fluidity, laudable ambitions perhaps. But the storytelling often feels like a lecture, disguised as a monologue, rather than a thrilling whir of a time rota. Well, Doctor Who has always had education at its heart. That was part of the original brief. But that education was never worn on its sleeve, or at least it wasn't until very recently. And I remember when Doctor Who was rebooted, and I thought how brilliant it was for the first few seasons. The show has evolved. Yes, the second Doctor fought ice warriors. The 10th Doctor kissed Captain Jack. The 13th became the first woman. But Gatwa's era, for all its colour and rhythm, has struggled to convert symbolic change into narrative excellence. And this is not about wokeness. I think that's a very lazy term. It's about structure, coherence, emotional stakes. And the Doctor shouldn't be a TED talk in converse, nor should Doctor Who be a cipher for whichever demographic marketing finds the most lucrative expression in this season. Doctor Who should be about championing discovery. The people who are educated, the people who are educating, who are getting the education, are the children who are hiding behind the sofa, who are putting two and two together. Instead, we're often getting lectured, which I think should not be the aim of the show. The aim of the show is to present ideas which stimulate thought. And so rumours suggest that the show may be wrested, and this, to my mind, is a code for we've lost our nerve. Doctor Who deserves better. It deserves the moral seriousness of Davison's Caves of Androzani, the eerie stillness of Tom Baker's Pyramids of Mars, or the philosophical madness of Sylvester McCoy's Curse of Fenric. It deserves Sarah Jane, not spin-offs, Romana, not Captain, not Rainbow Capitalism. It's not diversity that's let us down, it's the indulgence of sort of patronising preaching. It's the abdication of light and tight writing in favour of grandstanding. So tomorrow evening, as we await the finale, Reality War, perhaps projected onto cinema screens like the final reel of a dying star, we should remember that regeneration is not death, it's a promise. And there is time, there's always time for Doctor Who, for Doctor Who once again to be what and who it once was: mad, brave, intelligent, frightening, and fundamentally British. And who knows, perhaps somewhere in the BBC vaults a new face is already forming, someone who understands that being the Doctor is not just about who you are, but about what you do, and that the Doctor is the hero of the series, and how in doing that you bring wonder back into the universe, and you bring children from behind the sofa to marvel at the opportunities and the ambition of imagination. That is what Doctor Who is about. It's not about the message. The message is in the programme itself. The message is there. It doesn't need any extra messages. It just needs clever writing, character, and question marks.